Mr. Lucas, who is this gentleman right
That is
here?
Earl B. Dickinson, the ubiquitous African-American leader of the black community, the lead attorney in the restricted covenant case that was lifted in 1949 that enabled us to move outside the community. He also was a migrant to the northern city who started at the Supreme Life Company and worked his entire life. In 1939, he was in fact the leader of the Democratic movement, beat William L. Dawson for the committeeman's race, for the aldermanic race. William L. Dawson went and got with the Democratic mayor, Ed Kelly, who did not trust the independence of Earl B. Dickinson, and asked Dickinson, who wasn't aware of the power of the patronage system, if he could control the patronage. Earl B. Dickinson consented to it. They used the patronage and Ed Kelly to double-cross Earl B. Dickinson, and Dawson became the alderman at the next election and the committeeman in the next election, and went on to become the first congressman and started the patronage system that elected the original Daley in 1955 with 700,000 votes, most of them coming from newly minted Democrats who were created out of the patronage system run by the Irish in Chicago. That is the same system today, in my opinion, that we accept as African Americans the Negro leadership of a second-class position that plantation politics runs Chicago, and that's why our kids are suffering like they're suffering, because a third of our equity goes to the white Irish community. And when you look at the offices and all the departments in the city government, look at that and you will see the disproportionate number of Irish people running all of our departments in our city government and state government.
1 second. I heard of William Dawson. I know of William Dawson.
Yes.
I've never heard of this gentleman.
Well, he is the most important, he's in my top 10 of all time, but he is the most important African-American leader, in my opinion, even more important than John Johnson, who actually John Johnson was his administrative secretary, and at 21 years old when he was elected, he was his administrative person in the office when he ran.
And the name again?
Attorney Earl B. Dickinson. Earl B. Dickinson, Urban Mollison, and Truman K. Gibson were the three attorneys who went into the restricted covenant and discovered that only 60% of the people had signed off on it, thereby breaking those covenants that went all the way to the Supreme Court until 1948. We have the actual map of where we were restricted up to 1948, so we know exactly where the black.
You gotta show me that, because people forget. I got like maybe 1 minute. My tape is running out, but you know what? People forget this history or something.
Absolutely.
See, people, that happened a long time ago, but right. The kids are killing each other right now.
Absolutely, as a consequence.
It's because of consequence of what happened a long time ago.
There's the actual map. Yeah. And there's the actual point. From 1916, so the first half of the 20th century, African Americans were confined to this area by racially restricted covenants imposed by the University of Chicago and the homeowner associations out of Hyde Park.
I've heard about this restrictive covenants.
Yes.
And you wonder why the town is still segregated, especially
based on the restricted covenants.
It's still segregated, especially in our neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, to this very day because of the restrictive covenants.
No question. Chatham, all those communities outside prior to 1950 were not black communities.
Wow.
Right.
All right.
You cannot, unless you understand that history, you cannot understand the migration to Chicago.
Man, yeah, people need to come here and see this history.
No question.
They can come here?
No, they can come here. We're open 12 to 5 every day, Monday through Saturday. And we have the history. Just had Black Cowboys here. We talk about the Black Cowboy experience.
Yeah.
That's a huge experience. These are kids who watched Hopalong Cassidy and Robert Taylor Holmes and wanted to be cowboys. We're trying to bring horseback riding back to Washington Park. That's one of our major goals. We want to bring the rodeo back to Chicago. Man,
we shouldn't be ashamed of black history, should we?
Oh, if you don't understand the greatness of our history, right, then you're a lost soul in terms of really having a good understanding of who you are. We have a great history in the city of Chicago. The blues started on the south side of Chicago. It didn't start on the North Shore. For years they funded blues districts on the North Shore. That's discrimination against the authentic experience. You have to focus on authenticity. You have to save the sites. You have to fight for these sites. We fought for them. Again, had we failed, this would have been a bankrupt Delaware Farms food store rather than the anchor to the proposed Black Metropolis National Heritage Area. We have 91 plaques up both sides of King Drive, a major gateway in. We have arrived. This is, in fact, a world-class African-American community, and we need to be spending our dollars among each other, attracting international tourists to our community, and making sure the next generation of young people understand and are gainfully employed in that process.
Harold Lucas, you're the man. 35th Street, right? I can see this. I can see the Sears Tower from here.
Absolutely.
There it is. For our international audience,
absolutely,
when they come downtown, it's come 35 blocks of the Sears Tower.
Absolutely.
And come on to back Metropolis.
Absolutely.
All right.